What's going on, fellas? Ladies, if you're a lady watching this, appreciate y'all tuning into another video, man. Today is chest day. We got some chest, a little bit of side delts. So yeah, man, you see the title of the video. Today I want to talk about you can't help everybody, man. You can't help every man, specifically men. Not every man is going to want to take their physique to the best level. Not every man is going to want to self-educate themselves after college, after high school or college, if you decide you didn't want to go to college. Not every man is going to want to eat the healthiest. Not every man is going to want to be in a healthy relationship with a woman they care about. Not every man is going to be willing to leave that toxic woman. Not every man is going to be able to cut out the negativity, whether that's through friends, whether that's through family. Not every man is going to be man enough to leave that job because they're not happy at that job and go find a job that makes them happy or get into entrepreneurship. And the list goes on, man. You can't help everybody, man. You could give people advice and hope that they take your advice, you know what I'm saying, or give people some sort of direction. But not every man is going to want to do that. Some men are just stuck in their ways, you know what I'm saying? Some men have been living a certain way for their whole lives, and that's just how they're comfortable living. You get what I'm saying? You can bring them options. You can bring them options that'll help better their future, but they may not always take those options. Men are extremely hard-headed, and I want you to hear this. A lot of men do not have accountability. It is always put on women. I'm tired of everything being put on women, but men are responsible for the way women act, you know what I'm saying, or the way women think. You know, imagine a woman dealing with the same bum dude over and over, the same dude that reacts off of emotions over and over, that put his hands on her, you know what I'm saying, that always raised her voice, call her out of her name because he didn't like what she said or like the way she was moving. You know what I'm saying? When a woman's dealing with a man like that, she's gonna have it stuck in her head about how most men are. And it's really gonna take a certain man to be consistent for a certain amount of time to change that narrative in her mind. And that's just what it is, man. But you can't help every man, man. Some dudes are just gonna be single for the rest of their lives. You know, very socially awkward. Communication's not gonna be there. And some men are just gonna be stuck with the same chick, miserable they're stuck with her. Some men just gonna be single, miserable, man. Because I'm sorry, there is somebody for everybody. And being single for the rest of your life is not the way to go, man or female. That's a lonely, miserable life. Guys, men, we go out here. We work hard. If you're a provider, you provide. Nothing is better than having a home-cooked meal when you come home after all that hard work, after all that providing. Nothing's better than come home to a woman telling you she loves you, feeling on your body, feeling your muscles. Oh, I miss you, baby, kissing on you. Nothing's better than that, you know? But some dudes are okay coming home to an empty house every night. Yeah, it may be clean the way you left it, but it's empty. Where's the love? There's no love there. I mean, some men just okay sleeping with different women every other night, every other week. I'm not okay with that. I feel like that's an immature lifestyle. At some point, you gotta grow up and put love, time, and affection into one woman. With that being said, though, I want to talk about, I don't want to go too in-depth in this, and I don't want this to be too long of a video, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm bragging, but I just want to talk about home ownership, why you should definitely strive to own your own home. Is mainly because you're not responsible for other tenants' negligent or reckless actions. Imagine you living in the same building, even condos. I'm not for condos, I'm sorry. Own your own home that has decent amount of space between both of your neighbors, man, where they can't hear your conversations, hear you having sex with your lady, or hear your arguments. Because if you have a tenant next to you, above you, below you, that starts a fire, your apartment more than likely is going to be caught on fire. If you have a neighbor, a tenant in your apartment complex that has roaches, rats, mice, you more than likely are going to get roaches, rats, and mice, man. Same thing for bed bugs. I remember when I was staying in an apartment when I was younger, and I had this chick living above me. She was a single mom, and she had a bunch of kids, man. Boom, 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 all night running back and forth, man. I remember being woken up in the middle of the night, or being waken up way too early in the morning by these kids running, jumping back and forth, jumping back and forth. Like, it literally drove me crazy. And I'm one person, I don't like talking to people, man. I like to stay to myself. I don't like to be bothered by people. I don't even really speak to my neighbors unless they speak to me. You feel me? I'm a real stay to myself, don't like people, because I'm gonna go back to the topic about the apartments, but I just wanna say, like, my neighbors, man, they celebrate Halloween. A lot of them decorate and stuff, and I don't believe in that. I see that as a demonic holiday. So, like, just off people doing that, like, I don't agree with people's ways, man. I don't talk to people. People are weird, in my opinion. But back to the apartment, I actually went and I spoke to her. I was like, listen, could you tell your kids or control your kids to stop running? And I shouldn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? What if she got a baby daddy that is disrespectful? He want to disrespect me. Now me and him have words going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Now me and him beefing. Now me and him possibly get into a fight. All off me just telling her, please, could you tell your kids to stop running around, jumping so early in the morning, so late at night, because I have to get up for work. I have to sleep. You know, this is just a few examples of things you deal with when you live in apartments. And again, like I said, condos. Some people say, oh, I'll take a condo. But condos are similar to apartments. Yeah, you have more space. You can potentially own them, but you're still connected to other people. You know what I'm saying? Your place could still catch on fire if theirs is on fire. You know? I'm seeing it in a lot of apartment buildings and videos where people are having leaks. Because if somebody lives above you and their shower starts leaking, their tub starts leaking, it's going to affect your ceiling. You know, that could expose you to mold, asbestos, and all types of stuff that'll affect your lungs, affect your breathing. You know what I'm saying? All because you want to live in an apartment. And listen, I know a lot of people do not plan on having kids. Sometimes it just happens, but I really don't like seeing people having kids in apartment buildings, man, where they don't have a nice backyard to play in, where they're running around in the apartment and stuff like that. You're just inconveniencing your kids. You're giving your kids the short end of the stick, and then you got this man say, oh, I do the best I can. I love my children. How do you love your children? You didn't give them the best. You didn't give them their own home, their own backyard to play in, you know? A lot of the times people are living in these apartment buildings and they're not in the greatest area. Not all the time, but a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying? It's in a ghetto community, you know, or the projects. I was living in the projects at one point when I was younger, Church Street South, if you're familiar with New Haven, before they tore it down. You know, I spent a lot of time there. Go ahead. And pissy alleyways, garbage everywhere, people just throwing garbage on the ground, not caring. We had a field to play in, but we didn't have our own backyard specifically. If it's you and your siblings, you can't just play with your siblings. You're forced random people coming into the field playing with you. As opposed to having your own backyard, you and your siblings can just play alone. If you don't want to play with other people, you don't invite other people over to your house. It's that simple. You know? Also, nobody can kick you out. Nobody can kick me out of my home. It's not paid off, but I own it. It's in my name. It's in me and my woman's name. And I didn't go through the bank. I did not go through the bank like most people do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just letting you know I didn't go through the bank to get my house. So, you know, as a man, you just gotta want more for yourself. And I feel like that's why the video that I mentioned about single men, taking your time before you have kids and everything, it really hit well. It really hit home for a lot of men. You know, because a lot of men realize, man, this economy, the way these women are, how hard you have to work and stay down before you can own your own home, before you can have a family and not be struggling. They realize, man, it's not easy. So, honestly, as a man who actually has common sense, if you're 25 and younger, or if you're 25 and older, you still don't have children and you want to have children, you're doing pretty well for yourself. Never strive to live in an apartment. Ever. Never strive to live in an apartment. Grind it out by yourself. Live in an apartment before you have kids. Once you decide you want to settle down with a woman and have a family, you better be in a home and not renting it. Your name better be on the deed, man. For real. Your name has to be on that deed. And again, like I said in the beginning, because I'm going to end this video, it's getting real windy. Not every man is going to want what you want. Not every man is going to strive for greatness. You know? You got to realize, man, a lot of men nowadays are extremely feminine. A lot of men act off of emotion and not logic. Women are starting to take the place of men. Feminists are taking the places of real men, or what once were real men. So, you know, do what you can, give advice, but don't pressure people. And don't feel bad when people crash out. You know, if you saw potential in somebody and you felt like you were doing the best you can, giving them the best game you could give them, the best advice you could give them, the best support, the best shoulder to lean on or cry on, whatever they needed it for, and they still went in the other direction or still crashed out, don't feel bad, because you tried. And you are a good person, man. If you really try to help somebody out that you saw going in the wrong direction, that needed your help, and they failed, don't worry. You are a really good person, man. God sees that. And you know what I'm saying? And I know that. I know there are people out there, maybe even you watching. Shout out to you, man. Pat yourself in the back. Pray to God. Pray for that person. Still pray for them. Pray for God and thank God for giving you the strength and the wisdom to actually want to help somebody out. You know what I'm saying? And having a good heart to want to help that person out. You know, and leave it in God's hands, man. Don't feel bad. Don't let it play on your heart. Don't let it stay on your mind. You know, just brush it off, man. Brush it off. Like I said, keep them in prayer, keep them in mind, but don't let it bother you. Don't be stuck on what you like, feeling like a failure. Like I failed them. You didn't fail them. They failed themselves. Now it's in God's hands. All right. So I appreciate y'all, man. If y'all watched the whole video, I appreciate you to support the channel, man. Hit the like button because it helps the channel, it helps the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure your notifications, hit the bell, set to all, so you know every time I post a short video, something in the community tab or something like that. And comment down below, all right? I appreciate you all. Make sure you get in the gym, man. Get these gains. You got to get these gains. Peace and love.